Welcome. This is Crime Queen. If you're joining or watching us for the first time, this is where we get excited about love. This is where we ignite that which dwells from within us, that which comes alive, makes us smile. Hence, we say the crimson light is life. So, the crimson light is our journey to actualizing self-full love, which on that journey, we have fun with numerology, we have fun with words, and of course, we just get excited overall on the on this actualizing self-full love. Okay, all right, so we are continuing our presentations on template for numerology. So I thought it would be best to do bite sizes of these presentations, and I hope it makes it, of course, more watchable or more digestible. Let's use of course. And so we've just to summarize on this, um, yes, I have had some information where I have covered this, how we come to having these templates. But number one, we call it jazz, just to remind you, jazz, where we do all our jazz and we do our silliness, and we are very free spirited. This is jazz. And also, we see that jazz correlates number one with number R, nine here, with revelation. This we will cover because we believe that revelation is really offering us a very deep insight to the essence of sacrifice. And through sacrifice, which have shaped us so profoundly, in everything we do, it seems that we are performing forms of sacrifice where we delay our gratifications, one thing for another. So this, hence we have revelation. Revelation is of 10 letters, whereas sacrifice is of 9. So we are going here through these 26 letters. 2 and 6, for instance, is the number 8, 2 plus 6, number 8, which correlates to the C here I call headquarters, which is also the number of God. God comes to 1 and 7, 1 and 7 is 8. Right, so let's continue here with this. So number 3 we call luck, when you are lucky or you're feeling lucky or unlucky, but this is where we're at. Now, of course, we see V here falls under luck. We may feel victorious or not so victorious. I'm just going through how the intuition is coming here now. We have covered the 4 for development. 4 equals 4 seasons of the 4 seasons, the 4 elements, the 4 rivers in chapter Genesis of in Genesis, the 4 heads of the rivers, the 4 in presence, which I have done presentations on. So we have many fours looking at us or facing us, which we are four. We have 4 limbs and so on, of course. So there we go. With this is where we go through our developmental stage. I have done a series of presentations that cover the secret combinations or secret compartments to the number 4 as well as 2. All right, so those we will develop on later. And 5 for new. Anytime we are facing a new situation, a new era, we are in a new place, we are doing a new thing. Like myself doing this new this new project. I'd rather just call it this new fun thing. We are doing I, which also in this case we are looking through new set of eyes, a new eye. And in this realm for me it's like the third eye, the spiritual eye. So also we go through, after being here we are told we are a new creature, so I call this new creature, which corresponds with the word truth, number 6, where we are 666. But there are lots of things are happening about this 666, which is the fox. It's like saying this truth that we see ourselves to be is not really true when it looks like a fox. Well, that's another big question here. So this fox here, however, because he's clever and he's also cunning and he's also trying to find make sense or protecting his life or whatever he's doing, making different judgments that perhaps entail both polarities, I should say. But he sees it as, well, it's just one thing, it's whole. It takes him on a journey, it takes him on the gypsy journey. The gypsy journey entails the number 7, which is the day of rest, which is the day of rest after the 6 days of creation, which we are, God created us. The number 6 was the last thing being that he created, and so rested on the seventh day, hence the seventh day. Seventh day is that he rested, but I believe in that rest is also taking into account or reviewing what he had done. Hence, the rest might have just been the rest from creating anything else, but also reviewing. Now, as I say reviewing, I would love to really check out the word review and see what happens here, or reviewing. I did say reviewing, but let's look at review. Review. Okay, so we have 954955. So this is review is in direct correspondence here with the word sacrifice, revelation here, revelation, review. It starts with 9 because revelation and review is really on the same par. So 9, the letter R corresponds to 9 and N also corresponds to 5. So there we see how Revelation is playing a very big role in this solutions. We are looking for solutions. Okay, so there we are. And I think this is really a beautiful illustration. But let's add these numbers together. So the other thing that is also transpiring here before we add together is that there are 3 fives here. 1, 2, 3. 3 fives, and also because we said review, really it's like renew, and so we have 3 fives coming right here into the middle of these nine letters and 9 numbers, which serves as a pinnacle point here where 5 is with 4 letters on either side. So really like 5 is a scale, or it forms like an anchor. All right, so let's add up these numbers. So I add, sometimes I say the numbers, but my mind is really ahead with, so I'm trying to just say the letters or words so you can follow. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, we have 15, and 9 and 9, 18. So that's 8 and 5 is 13, and so that is 33, but we have 4 here as well, which is 4, and so that makes it 37. 37, 3 and 7 is 10. So review is to really look at, it's giving us the insight that the word review is really 10. Actually, 10, we have been working with the number 10, which equals Satan, which also equals heaven, and which also equals man, yes, man, 5 and 5, 10. And so there are lots of letters that review is covering. So really, review being 10, which corresponds to the number 10 in Revelation, um, that is really, I feel very wonderful in that revelation here as well. It's confirming, just as we have done in whole, it's confirming or reflecting in the word sacrifice. Okay, so I was saying, yes, we use this template, and where we go into this gypsy journey where we review from 1 to 7. And 1 to 7 actually seem to be really the true number of numbers. So 1 and 7 is it, however, which takes us into heaven. I call it headquarters, heaven and earth. So looking at this capital H, there are perhaps that's where we could say that God had a firmament, the heavens and the earth. I love this. I know I have been saying heaven and earth, but I love the H here, the heaven and earth, the firmament is here. So delicious. This is when I get very excited. Okay. So we see that that journey of headquarters, I call it headquarters zone here. And when we have come to this headquarters zone, because we have reviewed all our actions, all our behaviors onto this side, we see that we are quite happy to maybe rectify things by saying, okay, this is where we add and subtract, but usually that means we are ready to pay our dues to the inland revenue, IR, which is what I call the inland revenue. We are the land. This is where we are adding and subtracting in the sense of that we are um, taking in what is essential for us, what is adding to our development. In number 4, we are subtracting that which doesn't serve us anymore. Perhaps that comes into the jazz bit where I call we are doing the jazz. So this is really giving us an insight into how sacrifice really plays out in our lives through the letters and the numbers. So we see, if we were to say, for instance, we are doing jazz, we know we are doing the free thing, the free spirited thing, and it really it's okay. But then there comes another point here that we, or the points that we need to explore, because we can't be doing jazz forever. While doing jazz, we perhaps get a graze, or we perhaps have another need develops. Another curiosity to do more jazz, but other things happen in the process. So, just to encapsulate the idea of how we came to these words is that, or words, it's not all, yes, the jazz and so on. It was really, as I say, working intuitively that I discovered that I could, or I felt at liberty to change some of these letters here, but my intuition or guidance and angels um, and elders that I work with was not permitting me to change anything from the point of Fox to the inland revenue, which entails 9 letters. So I keep repeating this because I'm believing this is setting us a wonderful template that will really help us to um, make sense, better sense of our world, where we are at any given time. That is the vision I see for this template. And also, there was no inclination to be changing the BKT, which I term um, basket or bucket. So these were the things that were really coming in these developments. Also, to remind you, if you have watched my presentations before, the same applied to the letter D and the letter W. So I am not quite sure what the W is yet. Also believing it might well be something to do with that B. So of course, if we write a W like this, of course, like I have shown in other presentations, we could see how it could easily be that B in a right upright position. Okay, so I'm leaving you with this. This is another mini bite of presentations on templates for numerology. So I'm hoping that you have enjoyed this process. Process, of course, we are learning. I'm hoping that you have found it fun. And if you do like this presentation, remember to click the like button and share, because this is how we do it. We share to actualizing self-full love. In the meantime, stay blessed, stay bright, and stay ignited and spill over with love. Namaste.